Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Mrs. Mummy PhD podcast. I am your host, Michelle Gibbs, and I am passionate about helping scholarly mamas like you navigate your journeys with purpose so you can achieve your life and academic goals without sacrificing what matters. The reality is that scholarly mama life is multidimensional. We're scholars, yes, but we're also mothers, wives, and so much more with whole lives outside of academia. So how do we successfully navigate all this? Well, first, we need the space to embrace this unique blend. Only then can we begin the important work of becoming purposefully whole. And part of my own purposeful work is to create a space for us as scholarly mamas to grow, to reflect, and to become everything that we were meant to be. So, mama, are you in? Fabulous. Let's begin. These are our journeys of becoming. Hey, mamas, welcome back to the podcast. I appreciate your time today so much, as always. So thank you for tuning in. In today's episode, I want to talk about confidence because in the conversations that I have had with other scholarly mamas, confidence seems to be one of the biggest challenges that we have. We always talk about imposter syndrome and not feeling like we belong in where we are. We don't feel deserving of the success that we have. And all of that can affect our confidence. So when you have had a blow to your confidence, as you might do, whether your Viva didn't go very well, or you've had a paper rejected, or you've had some really strong feedback, it can affect how you feel moving forward, how you feel about your research, how you feel about yourself, and it affects your confidence. And so in today's episode, I want to focus on how to believe in yourself when you've lost that confidence. And I want to share with you 10 ways that you can do this. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So like I said, I know it's hard to believe in yourself again when you've had a blow to your confidence. And just to kind of set the tone for this episode, I'd just say that it happens to all of us. You are not alone in this. It can happen for a variety of reasons, whether it be negative feedback from others or a failure to achieve the goals or even a fear of taking risks. It can all affect our confidence. And sometimes, for whatever reason, you simply struggle to believe in yourself. It doesn't even have to necessarily be, this kind of massive, significant event or moment. But for whatever reason, you just do not believe in yourself and you have low confidence. So in this episode, I want to explore 10 ways that you can find your self-confidence again, even after you've lost it. I honestly cannot count the number of times that this has happened to me. Combining motherhood and academia can honestly make you feel like you no longer belong, even in the spaces that you occupy, even among your academic colleagues or your mama friends. You just feel this sense of displacement and feeling lost. So rather than feeling like you're good at a lot of things, you begin to feel like you're failing at all of the things. And when you have a negative experience that shakes the little ounce of confidence that you have left, it can be hard to bounce back. Further, when doors of new opportunity come knocking, or even just new experiences, you find yourself holding back from embracing them because you've completely lost that confidence in yourself. You don't even know how to navigate those situations anymore. And so how do we begin to believe in ourselves again when we have lost that confidence? And that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. So the first tip, I mentioned I was going to share 10 ways that you can do this. So the first way is that you need to change your internal narrative so that you can begin to believe in yourself. If you want to believe in yourself again, you've got to change your internal narrative. So allow me to share this experience with you, which I had last year. Actually, I attended the UK Black Business Show in London, which was awesome. And I did share about this on Instagram at the time that I attended the event. But what you didn't know from that Instagram post was that there was something even more significant about that experience for me. And I'm going to share it with you in this episode. So first of all, no one knows the internal battles that you and I have to overcome to show up as our authentic selves, especially in new spaces, or how hard it is to fully embrace those new journeys of becoming by taking action in areas where you want to see change. As a reflector, I've been thinking about why I felt so uncomfortable about attending that UK Black Business Show before actually making the decision to go. So there are a few reasons why I felt out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to elaborate on these here. For one, I didn't see myself as a business person. I didn't see myself as an entrepreneur. So it was a part of my new identity that, dare I say that I didn't feel confident about. So the question there that I had to ask myself was, why? Why do I not feel confident about it? Why was I afraid to fully embrace this new part of my identity? Was it because I was afraid of failing at it? Or was it because I was comparing my journey to other entrepreneurs? These questions helped me to reflect on and challenge my limiting beliefs about why I felt the way I did. It was the first time I'd attended a huge business event in person like the UK Black Business Show. And as I said in the caption in my Instagram post, it's not a space in which scholarly mamas would usually find themselves. However, and I always say this, that there's something truly special about being around entrepreneurs and side hustlers that look like me, that inspires me to continue to bring my own ideas to life, their beginnings, their stories, their motivations, their creativity, their journeys, their struggles, and their wins. It helps keep the dream alive when you see the potential for what you can do. And also, and this is a very important point, there is something incredible about being in the presence of real dream builders and real change makers that inspires me to change my own internal self-talk and ditch those limiting beliefs that hold me back from stepping into my purposeful journeys of becoming. And so with this in mind, I'm going to share with you a few examples of how I've changed my internal narrative, because you may be wondering, okay, so it all sounds really lovely to say change my thinking, but how do I do it? How can I change my internal narrative? So let's imagine that my internal narrative is, I am a UK immigrant from a small island in the Caribbean. How can I inspire anyone? 2, I am an intelligent, creative woman of color with a big vision and a purpose to help others like myself in a meaningful way. So you see how that just immediately changes the way I perceive the situation. Nothing about the situation has changed, but the way I'm thinking about it has. So here's another example. I've never done any of this before. So changing it from that to, I've been the first for so many things in my family. This is not my first rodeo of stepping out of my comfort zone and doing it scared. I believe I can do it, and I am taking action. Do you see the difference? Here's another example. So imagine that the internal narrative is, I am a scholarly mama. How can I even think about pursuing purposeful goals outside of that? It will be too difficult. So changing it from that to, I am a scholarly mama, overcoming all kinds of obstacles on my scholarly mama journey, and I can do hard things. I can do hard stuff. And a final example could be, imagine the eternal narrative was, I am a wife and a mum of 3. I cannot possibly pursue my dreams. Changing that to my family is everything to me, and I can give them so much more when I choose to become purposefully whole. You see the difference? So I know that achieving any goal doesn't happen overnight, but I also know that small steps toward those goals will bring about sustainable progress in the right direction. And that is how we will get there. Remember, Mama, little and often, slow and steady wins the race. You see so many people doing extraordinary things out there, but you may never truly know the internal narrative that they're having to challenge and change for themselves just to show up. You may be just the inspiration that they need when they're wallowing in self-doubt, yet you may never know your true impact. So in this scenario, my advice is to do it anyway. So whether you're contemplating starting a PhD, for example, or another course of study in self-development, whether you are considering changing careers or starting a new business or applying for a new job or learning a new skill, however scary your next steps are, you'll never know what's behind that door of opportunity unless you open it. So go for it. Do it. Do it scared. The second way is to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force in human life and society. It's a key ingredient to happiness, and it has been shown to be the antidote to many of the problems that plague our world. One dictionary defines gratitude as a strong feeling of appreciation for someone or something. But how can we cultivate an attitude of gratitude? There are many ways to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, but first and foremost, it is important for us to take time for ourselves. Whether that be prayer, meditation, reading a book, taking a walk, whatever it is, take that break so that you can come back refreshed and ready to show appreciation for everything around you. And if you're looking for a simple way of reflecting on what you're grateful for, then please do download my free 5 minutes of gratitude journal, which I will link in the show notes. Okay, the third way that you can begin to believe in yourself again is to stop judging and start believing. Simply that. Stop judging and start believing in yourself. The first step in regaining your confidence and self-belief is learning to trust yourself again. But how can we do this? Well, the first step is to change the way you think. You need to start believing in yourself and your abilities, and this will help you to start feeling more confident about what you do and who you are. In academia, we are critiqued a lot. It's part of the deal, isn't it? To be critiqued, to be challenged. And we're told that this is what research/academic life is like. From supervisor or advisor critiques to peer reviewers to literature readers and even the media, it can feel like we're in a constant state of value judgment. And this can be really, really hard. You see, the key is trying to never take those critiques personally because they're simply opinions. For the most part, they can actually be quite helpful for reflection and applying those reflections to your real life in a practical way. So rather than taking critique personally and entering into a cycle of self-judgment, remember that it's just their feedback. And you're allowed to take what's useful from that and leave behind what's not. So stopping self-judgment actually begins with being kind to yourself, encouraging yourself with thoughts of self-worth. Mama, try not to put yourself down all the time. We need to be kind to ourselves so that we can better love who we are, who we're becoming, and so that we can begin to believe in ourselves again and regain that confidence. There are a few books that I have read that have reminded me of the importance of loving who I was, who I am, and who I am becoming on my journeys of becoming. So, for example, Becoming by Michelle Obama, Quiet by Susan Cain, Feeding the Soul by Tabitha Brown, and Finding Me by Viola Davis. Highly, highly recommended. All 4 of those, which I will link in the show notes. If you want, you can check out my bookshelf on mrsmummyphd.com for other insightful reads into your journeys of becoming. Okay, so the 4th way that you can begin to believe in yourself again is to accept your flaws. Accept your flaws just as you are. Accept your flaws. We all have them. We all have flaws, but not all of us are comfortable with them. So the first step is accepting those so that you can begin to love yourself again. With that, you'll be able to better love others as well. So if you've been reading my blog for a while, you'll know that I talk a lot about navigating the struggle of marriage, motherhood, and academia. And I'm sure I'm not alone when I say this. We all have dropped 1 or 2 of these balls that we've been juggling in a busy season. And I remember a time when this happened to me and I was so hard on myself. We see so much perfection projection online, which perpetuates this expectation that as busy working moms, we are expected to excel at everything by giving everything 110%. And this ideology could not be further from the truth. It's simply not humanly possible to be perfect at everything. Every person has their flaws, and that's okay. What matters most is that you learn to accept those and work on those shortcomings. So in my moments of despair, I have asked myself this one important question about my dropped ball. Can I do anything about it? And if the answer to that question is yes, then there's no need to panic. I just need to buckle down and do the work, get the task done. I just need to do the thing. But if the answer is no, and the ball was broken, there's still no need to panic, because in this case, I have to accept the reality of the situation, learn from the experience, and handle myself with grace, remembering that I am human. So giving myself the space to fail and recover, because failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. So I heard recently on another podcast I was listening to, and it was talking about, you either succeed or you learn. And I love that, because for me, it's when I fail at something, I see that as an opportunity to reflect, to learn, and to grow. Because perfection is an impossible standard. You may not be perfect, but you are enough. So remember that, mama. Remember that. Okay. So the 5th tip is to expand your comfort zone. So going back to the UK Black Business Show, that was a comfort zone challenge for me. Firstly, I am just beginning to feel comfortable with putting myself out there and networking with people outside of academic circles. I'm literally doing it all scared. But I told a friend that although I may feel like an imposter, I won't deny the fact that I am nervous about feeling that way. Expanding your comfort zone takes work. It's a constant struggle that requires a lot of self-belief and motivation. But it's also the best way to grow as a person and achieve your goals. You see, okay, let's go back. Let's go back a few steps. What is your comfort zone? Your comfort zone is the range of situations that you feel able to handle. The more comfortable you are with a specific challenge, the easier it is for you to handle it. As soon as your comfort zone starts to expand, your ability to handle a situation also increases. This means that even if it may be uncomfortable in the moment, this uncomfortable feeling will lead to greater rewards in the long term. Should I say that again? As your comfort zone expands, your ability to handle a situation increases, which means that if you're uncomfortable, even in the moment, even in the beginning, this uncomfortable feeling will lead to greater rewards in the long term. In order for this process to take place, however, you need to change your attitude toward the risk. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have that taking the risk is likely to lead to failure? It's very likely that you actually have no evidence of this. And in that sense, the fear exists only in your mind. So the next thing that you could do is to try to play out the absolute worst scenario in your mind. In detail, of course, because, hey, we're overthinkers, right? Now bring your thoughts back to reality. This helps us to realize that the absolutely worst case scenario is far worse than what's likely to happen in reality. So rather than focusing on the perceived risk of failure, you see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. This means that no matter the outcome, you're going to gain experience and learn valuable lessons that you can apply in the future. So for me, that's a win-win. Slowly but surely, we can do things that make us feel uncomfortable. And in the process of doing so, we gain confidence, we increase our skill set, and we overcome our fears. And that said, the process of expanding our comfort zones takes place at its own pace. It certainly won't happen overnight, so just take it slow and steady. Be patient with yourself. Mama, I know that you are brave enough to believe in yourself again. Okay, so moving on smartly, way number 6 for how you can begin to believe in yourself again is to make time for reflection. Reflection is such a key part of the process of believing that you can do something. It gives you the opportunity to learn from previous experiences and mistakes. Because remember, true mistakes are only the ones we don't learn from. But you can only learn from them when you reflect on them. So reflection is key. It also helps you to develop as a person and strengthen your self-belief. So you should make time for self-reflection in your life. This will help you to grow as a person, but it also will give you the opportunity to reflect on what's happened in the past. And when you reflect, it's not just looking at what went wrong or what didn't go well, but also what went well, what went right. Reflecting on what went well allows you to build on those wins and to adapt and apply them to future endeavors. And this will show you why you should actually believe in yourself again. So this gives you evidence for believing in yourself again. It's honestly a huge confidence booster. Try it for sure. The 7th thing to help you begin to believe in yourself again is to practice positive affirmations daily. The self-belief system is one of the most important systems in our lives. It's what makes us feel confident and capable. This system can be rebuilt with positive affirmations. Sure, we all get the nerves, we all get the anxiety, we all experience the discomfort, but positive affirmations can help us get back to a place of self-belief. We have to believe in ourselves and our abilities to be able to achieve anything we want in life. Positive affirmations are a great way to rebuild this system. They help us to build strong foundations for our beliefs and mute those unhelpful, limiting beliefs. Affirmations can be a great tool to help us regain our confidence. So definitely give that one a go. The 8th tip is to dream big and plan small. This is one of my absolute favorites. Dream big, plan small is a phrase that has been used by many successful people. It encourages people to set their big goals and then break them down into smaller steps. You see, dreaming big is not a bad thing, but it's important to be realistic and plan small steps to reach your goals. This way, you will be able to measure the progress that you're making and know exactly what needs to be done next. It's important to have a plan in order to achieve your dreams, and a planner helps you to stay on top of your goals and tasks so that you can keep up with the pace of life. It's no secret that we live in an era where things happen at the speed of light and time is our most valuable asset. But it's not only about managing time. It's also about being organized, having a clear vision for the future, and most importantly, knowing what steps you need to take to get you where you want to go. When you are in control of your to-do list, this helps you to feel more confident about what you're doing. And while embracing change is great, the crucial mindset shift should be that change is sustainable. This begins with setting realistic goals, and it enables sustainable change. There is no point making a change if in 2 or 3 weeks you're back to the old routine. You need to be considering sustainable changes, and dreaming big and planning small helps you to do that. By the way, did you know that I also have a free printable planner which you can download? I'll leave a link in the show notes. So mama, start today and make that start a good one. I also have a free downloadable to-do list organizer and a SMART goal guide and tracker to help you get organized and stay on top of your goals and progress. So please do check out the resources page on mrsmummyphd.com where you can download all of those free resources. Okay, so the 9th way that you can begin to believe in yourself again is to step into your purpose in life. We all need to find new meaning in our work, and it's often hard to do this. The good news is that you don't have to look very far for inspiration. You really, really don't. You can find new purpose by looking at what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and what your values are. I read a social media post recently where a fellow blogger talked about the difference between the older generation of academics and the younger generation, being that the younger generation, they don't see their whole life purpose in their academic work, as perhaps maybe the older generation of academics might do. Of course, this doesn't apply to everyone, but it was just a comment that was made, and I thought it was a very, very good point. My personal thought on this is that purpose is, for me personally, is not defined or limited to the work that I do. It's more deeply aligned with who I am, what my core values are, and why I am here. The reason I don't link my sense of purpose with any particular job or career is that linking it to who I am rather than what I do means that it goes with me through life and gives me guiding principles for anything that I do. It gives me the freedom to change what I do, to change my job and career if I want to, without losing sight of my unique assignment, if that makes sense. However, if you feel that your purpose is linked to your academic work, but you're feeling stuck in the academic hierarchies, the job insecurities, the lack of progression, and the challenges of being a mama in academia, there are actually still ways that you can give your PhD meaning beyond academia. And I'll talk about that in another episode. So fulfilling your purpose in life can be difficult, but I don't know, I kind of feel like with some introspection, you can actually get there. The first step, though, is to identify the things that make you feel happy and fulfilled. What are you passionate about? What are your talents? What are your values? Your non-negotiables, what are those? Do you even know what your unique assignment is? Do you know what your purpose is? Once you've identified these things, it becomes so much easier to reach the goals that we have around here, which is that of becoming purposefully whole. That's the scholarly mama goal. Okay, so the 10th and final way that you can begin to believe in yourself again is to learn something new. So we've all been there where you're at the end of your tether, you've reached rock bottom with your self-confidence. But what if I told you that by learning something new, you could actually muster up the motivation to believe in yourself again? Learning something new is a great way to keep yourself motivated and inspired. It is also a great way to make sure that your skills are up to date and relevant. So here are some ideas of new things that you could learn. Number 1, a new language. Learning a new language is not just fun, but it can also help you to be more employable and in demand by helping you to produce work in other languages. Number 2, new technology. How about becoming skilled in new technology that can help your career and make sure that your skills are up to date for future jobs or projects? Number 3, cooking. This may seem like an unusual idea, but cooking is something that may not necessarily be seen as important as linear algebra or statistics. But many people find that it can actually be one of the most enjoyable things that they do. But you could try learning to cook something new, a new dish from your own culture, whatever you want. Just learn something new to cook, enjoy the meal, and you'll see. Number 4, swimming. Swimming can be a great workout, but it can also be a really nice way to relax and to refresh yourself after a tough day of work. Number 5, how to play an instrument. Playing an instrument is not only fun and relaxing, but knowing how to play one means that when you want to take that break, you can pick up your instrument and practice playing something new. And in addition, because music is so universal, it can help you to express yourself creatively and feel connected to people around you. So number 6, writing. Writing is often overlooked as something that people should learn because it doesn't seem like a skill, but it's actually one of the best ways to exercise your creativity. So you can give that one a go. Number 7, painting. Painting can be a very therapeutic activity, can help you express yourself and gain insight into your emotions, which you may not be able to articulate in words. The 8th and final tip is photography. Photography allows you to capture moments that may be fleeting and rekindle memories that bring back good feelings or make bad ones fade with time, as well as remember people who've passed away. So that's also a good tip. So in closing, I hope that this episode has helped you to begin to believe in yourself again, especially when you feel that your confidence is a bit low. We often find ourselves doubting our abilities, but getting our confidence back after it's been knocked down is important because you're the only one who can do it. It's not always easy to believe in ourselves again, but it is possible. If you want to be more confident, you need to start believing in yourself again. You do not need to be like everyone else. You can believe in yourself while being 100% yourself. So when you drop a ball or two, mama, or when you're faced with a new challenge or a new opportunity that pushes you out of your comfort zone, don't let it make you doubt your purpose here. You belong here, imperfections and all. You can believe in yourself again. Remember, mama, these are our journeys of becoming. Actually, before we close, I do have a free quiz which you can take to find out your purposeful, scholarly mama trait. And this too can help you build your confidence. This too can help you remember, what are you naturally gifted at? What are you naturally good at? So that you can do more of that. And that will help you to regain the confidence that you've lost. Well, I hope you found this episode helpful, and I shall see you in the next one. Remember, Mama, I'm sending you lots of love and gratitude. Please do take care, and I will speak to you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Mrs. Mummy PhD podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you did and you want in on this movement, why not head over to mrsmummyphd.com. You can join the waitlist for our exclusive community of smart, purposeful, scholarly mamas. We'd love to see you on the inside. Remember, Mama, these are our journeys of becoming.